Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show that cuts through the noise to get you truly well informed.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're diving into a company that isn't just, growing. It's actively reshaping the landscape of medicine across multiple serious diseases.
Yeah, they're boasting billions in revenue, and their pipeline seems to be really firing on all cylinders.
Exactly. So, our focus today is a deep dive into Vertex Pharmaceuticals' second quarter 2025 earnings call.
Right, and we're also looking at their financial results, press release, and the detailed Form 10Q filing.
These are our direct sources, giving us insight into how they're performing and, well, where they're headed.
Precisely.
And our mission for you, the curious learner, is to unpack the most important nuggets of knowledge from this financial deep dive.
We'll explore their impressive financial health, some key leadership
The
changes.
surging momentum of their recently launched therapies, and the exciting advancements in their clinical pipeline, too,
It's all designed to give you that shortcut to being truly well-informed.
with surprising facts and, hopefully, crystal clear takeaways.
That's great.
Let's unpack this.
Okay.
Let's kick things off with the big picture.
Yeah.
Vertex's financial power and strategic leadership.
Yeah, their execution seems strong. They delivered $2.96 billion in revenue in Q2 2025.
$2.96 billion. And that's a 12% increase over Q2 2024, right?
Correct, 12% growth. And this consistent performance actually led them to reiterate their full year 2025 revenue guidance.
Which is still $11.85 billion to $12 billion.
That's the range, yeah.
What's truly striking here isn't just the growth, but maybe the underlying financial strength.
Absolutely. They ended the quarter with a massive $12 billion in cash and investment.
$12 billion. That's huge.
It is. It's not just a strong position, it's a real strategic advantage.
How so?
Well, it means they can acquire promising assets without dilution, for instance. They can double down on high-risk, high-reward programs.
And navigate market fluctuations with, I suppose, more stability than others.
Exactly. It essentially buys them the freedom to truly innovate without, the usual constraints.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, beyond the numbers, there's also a significant leadership transition happening.
Yes. David Altshuler, their chief scientific officer, is set to retire.
August 1st, 2026, I believe, after an incredible 13-year career, as they put it.
13 years, and his impact, well, it really can't be overstated.
He was instrumental in advancing multiple cystic fibrosis medicines,
Yeah.
Orkambi, Symdeko, Jakafi, Liftrec.
Right, all the big CF names, and also the gene-edited therapy, Cas-WI, and the non-opioid pain medicine, JourneyX.
That is quite a legacy.
Indeed. And this isn't just a sudden change. It seems like a carefully planned transition.
So who's stepping in?
Mark Bunnage. He's currently the senior vice president and global head of research.
Ah, okay, an internal promotion.
Yes, he'll assume the CSO role effective February 1st, 2026. He's actually been working alongside David since 2016.
So continuity there.
Seems like it. He's played a key role in advancing many critical molecules, including Casgevy and JourneyX, and several pipeline assets we'll probably discuss.
Right. This internal promotion suggests continuity in their scientific vision. But does it also maybe mean they might miss out on a fresh external perspective? Someone who could shake things up.
That's always a fair point to consider for any major leadership change, isn't it? You weigh the benefits of continuity versus new blood.
True. Okay, so with that kind of financial muscle and strategic leadership in place, it's clear Vertex has the resources to execute. Let's look at how that power is translating into actual patient impact.
Right, with their recently launched therapies.
Let's start with Liftrec, their next-in-class CFTR modulator for cystic fibrosis. It's had an impressive first 6 months.
It really has. It represents a significant step forward in CF treatment.
Can you remind us what a CFTR modulator does?
Sure. So it's a drug designed to help the specific protein that's faulty in cystic fibrosis patients work more effectively. Basically, it helps their lungs clear mucus better.
And Liftrec improves on the previous standard, Trikafta.
Yes, it provides further improvements in CFTR function. They measure that by sweat chloride levels compared to Trikafta.
Okay.
It's also indicated for additional mutations that Trikafta doesn't cover, and it offers the convenience of once-daily dosing.
So better efficacy, broader reach, simpler dosing. Sounds good.
And we're seeing rapid uptake, especially in patients who were naive to CFTR modulators before, and a steady transition from Trikafta as well.
What about its global reach?
Pretty impressive already. Approvals and reimbursement in the US, the UK, EU countries like England, Germany, Denmark. Ireland's coming soon, and Canada too.
The patient impact is clear. But there's a fascinating twist on the financial side, isn't there? Something about royalties.
Ah, yes, the royalty structure. It has generated some discussion.
What do they...
Well, the royalty burden for Eliftrek is 4%,
Okay.
which is meaningfully lower than Trikafta's 9.33%.
Quite a difference.
It is. However, there's a public disagreement with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's assignee
About what?
over whether Eliftrex's royalty should actually be in the high single digits, similar to Trikafta.
I see. And why does this matter so much?
Well, simply put, a lower royalty percentage means more revenue stays with Vertex. That impacts their bottom line and their capacity for future investment.
Got it. And they expect to resolve this.
Yes, through required discussions, according to the materials.
Okay. Shifting gears now to Casgevy. This is the one-time treatment for sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia.
Truly transformative potential here. And the global momentum for this gene therapy seems to be accelerating rapidly.
How are they measuring that momentum?
Well, the numbers are really encouraging. They paint a picture of a company mastering the pretty complex logistics of delivering a one-time gene therapy globally.
Right, that can't be easy.
No, they're seeing an increase in patient initiations, cell collections, and infusions. Nearly 250 patients have been referred by physicians.
250 referrals. Okay.
Approximately 115 patients have had their first cell collections. 35 of those were just in Q2 2025. And a total of 29 patients have completed their treatment journey and received their infusions.
And how many of those infusions were recent?
16 infusions just in Q2 2025. So the pace is picking up.
That really does sound like it's setting a new benchmark for how quickly these complex transformative medicines can reach patients.
I think so too.
And how accessible is it globally right now? Are the treatment centers ready?
They seem to be getting there. Over 75 authorized treatment centers, or ATCs, are now activated globally.
75.
And 10 countries provide reimbursed access.
Okay. What's the typical timeline for a patient?
The cycle time from cell collection to infusion is about 4 to 5 months, typically. And the company mentioned they're actively working to improve that timeline.
Which is obviously crucial for patients waiting for this life-changing therapy.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then there's JournaVX, their novel, non-opioid option for moderate to severe acute pain.
Right. And the speed of its market penetration seems pretty impressive for a new pain medication, especially a non-opioid one.
What does that look like in terms of coverage?
They've achieved really rapid payer coverage, nearly 150 million lives.
150 million?
Yeah, that's roughly half of all U.S. covered lives have reimbursed access as of mid-July.
That's fast. Is it restricted access?
Well, 84 million of those are unrestricted, which is quite good. They've secured formal coverage agreements with 2 of the 3 largest national PBMs.
The pharmacy benefit managers?
Exactly. Those companies that manage prescription drug benefits for health plans, and they have unrestricted access in 16 state Medicaid plans, too.
Sounds like significant traction in the hospital setting as well.
It does. Over 50 of their 150 target healthcare systems and about 500 of their 2,000 target hospitals have already added JournaVX to their formularies or protocols or order sets.
And actual prescriptions?
Over 110,000 prescriptions have been successfully filled.
So this positive reception means they're planning to invest more commercially?
That's what they indicated, yeah. Increased commercial investments.
There was also something about the No Pain Act.
Right. JournaVX wasn't on the initial draft list for that act, which aims to improve Medicare coverage for non-opioid pain treatments used in surgery.
But Vertex expects it to be included.
Yes, they expect it to be on the final list because it is indicated for post-surgical pain.
Okay. And who's actually prescribing it? Is it specialists?
It's quite broad, actually. General surgeons, plastic surgeons, orthopedic surgeons, dentists, anesthesiologists, a wide range.
Interesting. And what about patient support programs?
They mentioned they're phasing those out as payer coverage increases because, well, they become less necessary.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've seen how Vertex is excelling with its current portfolio, impacting thousands of patients. But, for a company driven by innovation, the real excitement often lies in what's coming next.
Absolutely. The pipeline.
What does their ambitious future pipeline reveal about where they're heading?
That's an excellent point. And what's really striking about Vertex isn't just their current success, but how they're strategically building for the future. They seem laser-focused on targeting some of the toughest diseases.
So rather than just list everything, maybe we should highlight a few assets and strategic areas that really stand out, things that seem potentially transformative.
I think that's the best approach. focus on how they aim to tackle major unmet needs.
Perfect. Let's start back with their home base, cystic fibrosis. They're clearly looking beyond their existing products.
Oh, definitely. To the next generation of therapies. For their next-gen 3.0 regimen, they're focused on a molecule called VX828.
VX828. And what's special about it?
It's described as the most efficacious CFTR corrector that we have ever studied in vitro.
A corrector. So that's designed to fix the underlying protein problem in CF even more completely.
Exactly. It's nearing completion of its healthy volunteer study and is on track to initiate a CF cohort before year-end.
And the goal?
The ambitious goal is to bring most people with CF to normal levels of CFTR function.
Wow. That would be huge, truly revolutionary.
It would.
And what about those patients, the smaller group, who still can't benefit from modulators?
Right. There are about 5,000 or so.
Yeah.
For them, there's VX522.
VX522. What kind of therapy is that?
It's a nebulized CFTR mRNA therapy. mRNA therapy essentially delivers instructions to the body's cells to make the functional protein they're missing or that isn't working right.
Delivered via nebulizer, so inhaled.
Correct. And the Data Safety Monitoring Committee has endorsed restarting its Phase 12 trial, which is definitely good news for this specific patient population.
Okay. Let's shift now to their pain pipeline. There was some recent news, wasn't there, on VX993 for acute pain.
Yes, correct. The recent Phase 2 results for VX993, this was in post-bunionectomy patients.
And the outcome.
Well, it did not meet the primary endpoint and did not show statistical significance as a standalone treatment.
So not moving forward for acute pain alone.
No, it won't be advanced as monotherapy in acute pain. It was safe and well tolerated, but just didn't show the needed efficacy on its own.
But they are continuing some study with it.
They are. They will complete an ongoing study for VX993, but this one is in diabetic peripheral neuropathy, or DPN.
So chronic nerve pain, not acute surgical pain.
Exactly. They want to use that study to further define its exposure-response profile.
Okay, so VX993 didn't meet its endpoint for acute pain, yet they're still completing the DPN study. In a world where, many companies might just drop a program after a Phase 2 miss, what's the strategic thinking there?
That's a great question, and I think it reflects a disciplined R&D approach.
How so?
Well, while it didn't work as a standalone acute pain med, DPN is a different patient population, a chronic pain setting. The exposure-response profile might be different.
So they want the full picture before making a final call.
Precisely. Understand the molecule fully. Beyond that, though, the focus for pain seems to be shifting more towards NaV1.7 inhibitors.
NaV1.7 inhibitors, targeting specific nerve channels involved in pain signaling.
Exactly. They're reporting strong preclinical progress there. And interestingly, the potential for these candidates to be used alone or significantly in combination with NaV1.8 inhibitors.
Why in combination?
Because they observed what they call a synergistic, not additive effect preclinically.
Meaning they work better together than you'd expect by just adding their individual effects.
Right. 1 + 1 = 3, potentially.
Got it. Okay, next up. Type 1 diabetes, T1D. A disease with truly transformative potential if they can crack it. Tell us about zimislecel.
Zimislecel. Its pivotal study is nearing completion of enrollment and dosing,
Which means?
which positions it for global regulatory submissions in 2026. So potentially not that far off.
And the data so far, I heard it was pretty remarkable.
It really is quite remarkable. The Phase 12 data, all 12 patients with at least 1 year of follow-up achieved the ADA-recommended target hemoglobin A1C levels.
A1C below 7%.
Yeah.
That's the key measure for long-term blood sugar control, right?
Okay.
Recommended by the American Diabetes Association.
That's the one. Huge improvement. They were also free from severe hypoglycemic events, those dangerous blood sugar lows.
Also critical.
And they had over 70% time in range, meaning their blood sugars stayed within the target zone most of the time.
That all sounds great, but wasn't there something even more striking?
Yes. Even more impressively, 10 of the 12 patients were insulin-free at 12 months.
10 out of 12. Insulin-free for a year. That's not just an improvement. That's a profound shift in quality of life. Almost like a temporary cure for many.
It really points towards that potential, yes. A functional cure, at least for that period.
Now, this involves transplanting cells, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what about the immune system rejection? Are they looking at ways to reduce the need for immunosuppression drugs?
They absolutely are. That's a key focus. They're making ongoing preclinical progress on cloaking these cells from the immune system.
Cloaking? How?
through various approaches. Improved immunosuppression regimens, gene editing to make the islet cells hypoimmune, sort of invisible to the immune system, and novel immunoprotection methods.
Lots of work there. It's also worth noting, though, they discontinued another T1D program, VX264.
Yes, that resulted in a $379 million impairment charge back in Q1 2025.
Which I guess shows they're willing to cut programs that aren't meeting their bar, even if it means taking a financial hit. Focuses resources.
Exactly. It shows commitment to only advancing the most promising assets.
Okay. Now, onto a significant new area of focus for Vertex, their kidney portfolio. This sounds like a major expansion.
It really is. A big strategic push. First up is pavacaseptid.
Pavacaseptid, what does it do?
It's a dual antagonist of DAF and APRIL cytokines.
Okay. What are BF and APRIL?
They're key signaling proteins in the immune system. When they're overactive, they can drive inflammation and damage in certain kidney diseases. Pavacaseptid blocks both.
And Vertex sees this as having pipeline and a product potential.
Yes, meaning it could potentially treat multiple different conditions.
Starting with which one?
Starting with IgA nephropathy, or IgAN. The Phase 3 Rainier trial's interim analysis cohort is enrolled.
Interim analysis, meaning they might get an early look at the data.
Exactly. With potential for accelerated approval in the U.S. in the first half of 2026 if that interim look is positive.
And the full study.
Full study enrollment is on track for year-end. They're also working on studies for at-home self-administration with a subcutaneous auto-injector. Make it easier for patients.
That makes sense. But they're not just stopping at IgAN, are they?
No, not at all. For primary membranous nephropathy, or PMN, another kidney disease, a Phase 23 adaptive study will begin later this year. They reached agreement with the FDA on the design.
Okay, 2 kidney indications. What else?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. Vertex has prioritized generalized myasthenia gravis, GMG, and warm autoimmune hemolytic anemia, WAAA, as the next indications for povetacicept.
Wait, myasthenia gravis and a type of anemia. Those aren't kidney diseases.
Correct. They're autoimmune conditions where BAFF and APRIL are also thought to play a role.
So why pivot to those next?
Their rationale is threefold. A high unmet need in those conditions, strong emerging data, both from the general class of drugs and povetacicept's specific engineered properties, and what they see as an efficient development pathway.
Interesting diversification for one drug. Do we know the potential patient numbers?
They provided estimates for the U.S. and Europe, around 300,000 for IgAN, 150,000 for PMN, 175,000 for GMG, and about 35,000 for WIAA. So significant populations overall.
Okay, back to the kidney-specific pipeline. What about inaxaplin?
Inaxaplin is for APL1-mediated kidney disease, or AMKD.
AMKD, what's different about this one?
This is a small molecule targeting the underlying genetic cause of the specific type of kidney disease.
Directly targeting the gene's effect and its status.
Enrollment for the interim analysis cohort of the AMPLitude pivotal trial is on track for this year.
Another shot at accelerated approval.
Potentially, yes, if those interim results are supportive. And they mentioned they've already met their enrollment target for adolescent patients aged 10-17.
Good to see progress in younger patients, too. Any other studies for inaxaplin?
Yes, the Amplified study. This is for AMKD patients who also have comorbidities, including type 2 diabetes. That study is on track to complete enrollment by the end of 2025.
Okay, one more in the kidney space, VX407.
Right. VX407 is for autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease, or ADPKD.
Polycystic kidney disease. What's the approach here?
They call it a first-in-class small molecule protein folding corrector.
Protein folding corrector. What does that mean, simply?
Okay, imagine building a complex piece of IKEA furniture, but one vital piece is slightly twisted. It just won't fit right. The whole thing is unstable. That's often what happens with faulty proteins in some genetic diseases. This drug, VX407, is designed to be like a little tool that fixes that twist in the specific protein involved in ADPKD, correcting the underlying problem.
Got it. A molecular chaperone almost. And
Yeah.
what's happening with it?
A Phase 2 proof-of-concept trial is set to begin this quarter. It's a 52-week study in 24 patients, and they'll be measuring height-adjusted total kidney volume, a key marker in ADPKD.
And the relevance. Why ADPKD?
It's significant. There are approximately 300,000 patients with ADPKD.
Wow.
And currently, there are no approved therapies that actually treat the underlying cause. They just manage symptoms or slow progression. VX407, if it works, might be eligible for about 10% of these patients initially based on the specific genetics.
Still a substantial number needing a root cause treatment.
Okay, and just a quick note on myotonic dystrophy type 1, DM1.
Right. For DM1, they have VX670. It's an oligonucleotide.
Oligonucleotide, meaning a short synthetic strand of DNA or RNA used to modify gene expression.
Exactly. Its phase 12 MAD portion, that's multiple ascending dose, is enrolling now.
And the timeline.
On track for enrollment and dosing completion in the first half of 2026.
Okay, that covers a lot of ground in the pipeline.
Hmm.
So wrapping things up, what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, I think it's clear Vertex is not just, maintaining its leadership in existing areas like CF.
No, definitely not. It seems they're aggressively expanding their footprint. Multiple successful product launches already happening.
And rapidly advancing a really diverse, high-potential pipeline across a whole range of serious diseases.
They seem to be driving growth and diversification across areas with significant unmet medical needs. Exactly. And it's all backed by that consistently strong financial performance we talked about earlier and strategic leadership that seems to be planning for the long game.
Focused on addressing underlying causes.
That seems to be the core theme, yes.
So, as you consider everything we've covered today, here's a final thought to maybe mull over.
Okay.
How might this concentrated, targeted investment in identifying and treating the underlying causes of serious diseases, coupled with their willingness to pivot and innovate quickly, how might that fundamentally reshape not just individual treatment paradigms, but maybe our entire expectation for how quickly transformative medicines can reach patients?
That's interesting, like raising the bar for the whole industry.
Potentially. What could that mean for future breakthroughs, and how might it impact our perception, what's even possible in drug development?
Something to think about, definitely. How fast can science move when it's this focused and well-resourced?
Exactly. Food for thought.